Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the April 9th, 2018 County Commission meeting. I'm going to call on our Sheriff, John Fuson, to call the meeting to order. If you would, please remain standing for the pledge led by Commissioner Wallace Redd and the invocation by Commissioner Joe Creek.
All rise. Oh yes, this Honorable Board of County Commissioners is now in session pursuant to adjournment. Now may God save this state and this Honorable Board of County Commissioners.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our Father and our God, we thank you for your love and your watch care. We thank you for the beautiful day that you provided today. We pray for our meeting tonight that as we discuss business that affect members of Montgomery County, that would respect one another's vote. We ask that you be with our budget committee now as they go through the cycle of determining what our needs are for the upcoming year. We just ask that you be with those that are searching for employment, those that have disabilities. We thank you for our veterans and just pray that somehow, some way that they'll be able to get the care that they need in the days ahead. It says in the Bible in Romans 12:3 and 4, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove that what is good and acceptable and perfect with God. Amen.
Amen.
Good evening. If I could have Mr. Don Jenkins to come forward, please. Don, welcome.
Thank you, Chief.
Good to see you. I have a proclamation to read for Don, but before I do it, and the proclamation will talk about really what this award is all about, but Don has served our community in many, many capacities for many, many years, and he's still been able to operate a very good business here in Clarksville, Montgomery County. I know all of you know that a few years ago they moved off College Street and built a big dealership out off of Trenton Road. And Don, during that whole process, he still was given to the community. And so this award is really, it's not a Clarksville, Montgomery County award. It's not a Tennessee award. It's a Ford award. But the cool thing about it is it's not a Tennessee award. It's not a Southeast Regional award. It's not an American award. It's a worldwide award. And so I think this proclamation is very worth this effort that we're going to give to you tonight. So Don, if you could bear with me if I could read this. Whereas Ford Motor Company honored 6 dealers from around the world for exceptional community service through their 18th annual Salute to Dealers initiative. And whereas Don Jenkins of Jenkins & Widd Ford Lincoln in Clarksville, Tennessee, was one of those 6 dealers that received this prestigious award for his continuous dedication to help improve the lives of those in need and his extraordinary impact that he has had on this community. And whereas Don Jenkins has been surrounded by cars and car talk his entire life, but as he grew up and prepared to enter college, his idea of a career had nothing to do with cars, and he knew without a doubt that he didn't want to be a car salesman. He thought they just wore silk suits and orthopedic shoes. Don decided he wanted to be a banker instead. And whereas that path was diverted when Don received a letter from his dad as he was about to graduate from college and start his career in the banking business, the letter said, "Give me just 1 year in the car business, just 1 year." That letter changed his life. 40 years later, he still thrives on interacting with people, loves vehicles, and loves the challenge of running a dealership. Whereas Don's commitment to his community runs deep. His donations to charitable organizations and projects all focus on improving the quality of life for others. Don has a passion for giving back to his community as well as Fort Campbell, but he still finds time to devote countless hours of fundraising for Austin Peay State University. Don has helped raise almost $40 million to support enrollment for economically disadvantaged students, build new dorms, recreation center, and university center. And whereas as part of the Salute to Dealers Award, the Ford Motor Company the Ford Motor Company Fund will donate $10,000 to the charity of Don's choice. Just another way Don Jenkins is giving back. Now, therefore, I, Jim Durrett, on behalf of Montgomery County government and the entire citizens of this community, hereby applaud Don Jenkins for his selfless dedication to this community. His leadership and generous spirit of giving and caring sets an exemplary example for others in this community. Don, congratulations.
Thank you, Jim.
Congratulations. Do you want to say something? Let's step up here and get our picture made real quick in front of the podium. Sure. Yeah, please. Y'all come on up here.
This is my daughter, Casey, my granddaughter, Chandler, and my boss, Sandy.
I'm going to give Don a chance to say a couple of words if you want to.
Well, Mayor Durrett, I'm very honored, County Commission very honored by this award. I was very shocked when Ford Motor Company picked me from over 4,800 worldwide dealers. Not sure exactly why they did that. I've always had a love for the community. My dad, Vernon Jenkins, was an entrepreneur, a risk taker. He moved to Clarksville in 1953 and opened a Lincoln Mercury dealership. And I can tell you, in 1953, the population of Clarksville was about 13,000, and probably a Lincoln Mercury dealership was about the last thing anybody would have wanted to do. But that was how he got his start in the business. In '60, he bought the Ford dealership from Clarence Carney, who was the second dealer, and so I'm now really actually the third Ford dealer in Clarksville. My dad always believed in one thing. He believed that that when you make your living in a community, that you invest back in the community, and you invest your time, you invest your talent, you invest your resources. And he's been a spectacular leader in my life. My goal has always been to be 50% of the man that my dad was. And I have always loved working in Clarksville, working civically. And I'd like to thank, first of all, my wife for putting up with the fact that when I'm doing civic things, I still have to make up that time at work, because she's the one that has the husband that doesn't come home at night a lot of times. And I'd like to thank the rest of my family for working hard at the dealership, my employees for making it possible. And I'd just like to, I would like to dedicate this award to my dad, Vernon Jenkins, who was an incredible man and gave me this opportunity in life. And thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
If we have a group of emerging leaders here tonight, so if I could have y'all to come down and line up on this little rail right here. I know y'all aren't going to line up in alphabetical order, but these certificates are in alphabetical order, so y'all just have to bear with me for a second. I'm going to read the first one. And then I'll just read the names of the other ones. And if I don't get your name exactly right, please forgive me. I may call some of you by your first name. But before I give you these awards or this certificate, first let me say thank you for maybe stepping outside your comfort zone to try to learn a little bit about how government works. I hope it's been a very refreshing experience for you. I know I see a lot of faces that sat through a whole lot of meetings, and hopefully you learned something about county government and the way government works. And the last thing I want to say to you is many of you are about to step off into that world we call adulthood, and sometimes it's not a very nice world to live in. but hopefully you can take something that you've learned through this process that you went through in our Emerging Leaders program and get through that tough time. So I want to congratulate each and every one of you for your work in working in our community. This is a certificate of appreciation. This one is to Vanessa Betancourt for participating in the Emerging Leaders program. So Vanessa, I also have a county coin I'd like to give you. So here's your coin. There's your certificate. Thank you. Thank you. I might as well just do that one right now. Ellie Riccone. Ellie, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Congratulations. And here's your certificate. Congratulations. Tashonda Grimmett, did I get it right? All right. Congratulations. You're welcome. Akimi, was that close?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, how you say your last name? Giamfi.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Akimi. Miller Hadley. Miller, congratulations. Carlin Holloman, congratulations. Blake Hood. Blake, congratulations. Sebastian Motes. Sebastian, congratulations. Well, somebody else got here a little late. Let's see who that was. Alicia Whitaker. Hey, at least you're here, Alicia. Congratulations. Jail Patel. Did I say that right? That is Jill. Jill? Congratulations, Jill. Georgia Smith. Congratulations. Macy Truitt. Just happens to be related to our Chief of Staff. Congratulations, sweetheart. Madeline O'Connor. Madeline, congratulations. You're welcome. Thank you. Hannah Flowers. Hannah, congratulations. William Wrinkle. Congratulations, man. Annalise Martin. Congratulations. Did we miss anybody? I think y'all are going to have to kind of come right down here in the front and kind of stagger up so we can get a group picture of all of you. If y'all do that real quick, if you don't mind. Meeting if you don't want to. Commissioners, I think everybody has registered their attendance. Ms. Jackson, would you please read the roll?
You have 19 present, 2 absent.
Thank you, ma'am. Our first order of business tonight are approval of our March 12th, 2018 minutes. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Riccone, second. Commissioner Gannon. Any discussion on the minutes? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you. Our zoning resolutions, our first resolution is CZ 6, 2018, application of Jeffrey Morrison from C2 to R1. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Vallejo, second. Commissioner Butts. Any discussion on CZ 6, 2018? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
CZ 7, 2018, application of Florum USA, Inc. from AG to M2. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Nichols, is there a second? Commissioner Creek, any discussion on CZ 7? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 18 yeses, 0 noes, 1 abstention.
Thank you. CZ 8, 2018, application of Gary Harmon Ben Stanley from RM1 to R4. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Keene, second. Commissioner Gannon, any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you. CZ 9, 2018, application of Donnie and Debbie Plaster from AG to R1A. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Baggett, second. Commissioner Albert, any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you. On to our resolutions. 1841, resolution authorizing the application for a grant from the local Parks and Recreation Fund by the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation for the Rotary Park Nature Center. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Butts, second. Commissioner Gildersleeve, any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Does anyone want to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Resolution 1842, resolution declaring the intent of Montgomery County to reimburse itself for certain expenditures related to the completion of Civitan Park Phase 2 at 650 Bellamy Lane with the proceeds of bond or other debt obligations to be issued by Montgomery County, Tennessee, in an approximate amount of $2,200,000. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Riccone, second. Commissioner Genus, any discussion on 1842? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you. 1843, resolution authorizing the issuance of interfund capital outlay notes in the aggregate principal amount of not to exceed $2,200,000 of Montgomery County, Tennessee, making provisions for the issuance, sale, and payment of said notes, establishing the terms thereof and the disposition of the proceeds therefrom, providing for the levy of taxes for the payment of principal and interest on the notes, and providing for reimbursement from tax-exempt obligation. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Gannon, is there a second? Commissioner Jason Hodges, any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you. 1844, resolution to appropriate funds to engage a consultant engineering firm for the purpose of designing firearm range to be located at the Public Safety Training Complex. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Brockman, second. Commissioner Arnold Hodges. Any questions or any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change your vote? Ms. Jackson, would you tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you. Resolution 1845, a resolution to appropriate funds to purchase an identification card system for use at the Sheriff's Office and the Court Center. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Butts, second. Commissioner Nichols. Any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you. All right. Any unfinished business? I see there is none. Ms. Jackson, would you like to read your report? And this will require approval by the commission.
Comes Kelly A. Jackson, County Clerk, Montgomery County, Tennessee, and presents the County Clerk's Report for the month of March 2018. I hereby request the persons named on the list of new applicants to the office of Notary Public be elected. The oaths of the Judicial Commissioner and Deputy County Official are approved as taken. This report shall be spread upon the minutes of the Board of County Commissioners. You received your list last week for your notary applications. You do not have any that are signed by surety, and you do not have any names that need to be read into the minutes for bond purposes.
Is there a motion for approval of the clerk's report? Mr. Creek, second. Commissioner Jason Hodges. If you would, please, any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you tally the vote, please?
You have 19 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you. Commissioner Jason Hodges, give us an update on the airport.
Sure. I wasn't in attendance for the last Airport Authority Committee meeting, so I'll give one next month.
Okay, thank you. School liaison, Commissioner Genus.
Mr. Mayor, they had at their point of pride at their formal meeting basically recognizing state wrestling champions throughout the county from multiple high schools. Rossview's high school all-star band was recognized, discussed textbook adoption, and from there then they went ahead and had a quick briefing on again some more of the outstanding work they're doing in the media and relationships as far as media, their websites, and updating that there so that more and more people are using it. At their informal meeting, Danny Green and crew all briefed the school board on bus driver pay adjustments, and just like us, they are working on their 2018-2019 proposed budget. A lot of questions asked by the school board members, just like our budget committee, and even answered questions for us from the county commission. All were answered satisfactory as where money was going and what was happening. So they're really scrutinizing their budget prior to coming over to here. And that's about it for the school board. They've been pretty busy.
Thank you, sir. Okay, commissioners, you'll see under your reports file, we have item number 4, the Highway Department County Road List, January through March 2018, does require commission approval. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Jason Hodges, second. Commissioner Brockman, any discussion on the county road list? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, on to the nominating committee nominations. Chairman, Mr. Nichols, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Nominating committee met, and we had one committee to review. It was the Board of Equalization. Mayor, this is in the form of a motion. Robert Fort nominated to serve another 2-year term to expire April 2020. Gary Ellis nominated to serve another 2-year term to expire April 2020. And Chris Barnett nominated to serve another 2-year term to expire April 2020. Gary Harmon and Doug Jackson are city appointments.
Is there a second to the motion? Commissioner Gannon, any discussion on the nominating committee appointments. If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Under county mayor appointments, we have 2 without objection from the floor. I'll ask the commission to vote on both of them. The first one is the Public Records Commission. Judge Jill Ayers appointed to replace Judge Ken Goebel for a 4-year term to expire 2022. Ellen Canervo, genealogist, appointed for another 4-year term to expire April 2022. Commissioner Joe Creek, appointed to replace Commissioner Ron Sokol for a 4-year term to expire April 2022. And on our Senior Citizens Board, John J. Sack has been filling an unexpired term, is now appointed to his first full 3-year term to expire April 2021. And Betty Scoggins is appointed to another 3-year term to expire April 2021. Is there a motion for approval for the Public Records Commission and Senior Citizens Boards? Commissioner Albert, second. Commissioner Genus. Any discussion on the appointments? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
All right, we have 2 announcements. Just a reminder, you're invited to attend the ribbon cutting ceremony, tour the downtown commons, and refreshments on Wednesday, April 18th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. at the downtown commons. And then you're also invited to business after hours and the Warrior Week reception on Thursday, April 19th from 5 o'clock to 7 p.m. at the downtown commons. Parking is available on 4th and Main in the Austin P lots. All city metered spots are available, as well as the parking garage. And finally, not on your agenda, just ask that commissioners and all the members of our audits to keep the families of the 2 soldiers who tragically lost their lives last Friday night in the in the Apache helicopter crash at Fort Campbell. And we had some folks deploy on Thursday, and so just keep all of our military in your thoughts and prayers. At this time, I'll call on the sheriff to adjourn us.
All rise. Oh yes, this Honorable Board of County Commissioners now stands adjourned. Now may God save this state and this Honorable Board of County Commissioners.